Think that success is for privileged people. Although privilege can be an important part and key to success, it is not the only thing it takes to be rich. Sure, being privileged helps achieve your goals faster or easier, but you can achieve the same results without having it. That's because success is not exclusive to privileged people, and believe that if it is to limit your potential because you do not want to make an effort to achieve it. Here is a quote from an unknown author that talks about why people succeed that have nothing to do with privilege. Why do I succeed? I succeed because I am willing to do the things you are not. I will fight against the odds. I will sacrifice. I am not shackled by fear, insecurity, or doubt. I feel those emotions, drink them in, and then swallow them away to the blackness of hell. I am motivated by accomplishment, not pride. Pride consumes the weak, heals their heart from within. If I fall, I will get up. If I am beaten, I will return. I will never stop getting better. I will never give up, ever. That is why I succeed. Privilege alone gets you nowhere. There are thousands of people with many opportunities in front of them who simply choose not to take. Greatness is more about taking the opportunities than just having the opportunity there. You need to stop thinking like a poor person. Anyone can achieve wealth. It may be more difficult for some than others, but the opportunities are there for those who want to take them. But even anyone can achieve it, most people won't. And the reason is pretty simple. People prefer to regret the situation in which they are in and blame someone else rather than do something about it. It is easier to do nothing and wait for things to come than to get up and work for them. And that conformist mentality of "I can't do things, this is not for me," and that is only for the privileged keeps them in the same position they are now, permanently. In essence, their mindset doesn't let them see more than what they are achieving now. So, if you have one of these thoughts I pointed out in this article, you will probably never achieve wealth. Most people actually never try at all. Every day I receive messages from people who congratulate and admire me for everything I have achieved and how they wish they had the luck I have. And there is the first problem. Believing that all that a successful person can achieve is thanks to a chance. Nothing in this life is a coincidence or divine luck. Everything that happens in our life results from our actions. I'm successful because I took strategic decisions and steps that led me where I am now. Telling someone that they are lucky is like making them see that they do not deserve anything they have right now, and they still manage to get it. When I explain that they can also achieve the same results as me if they replicate my steps, and I tell them how I get up at 5 a.m. to prepare videos, then start working at 8 a.m., they panic. You have a natural talent. You have too much willpower. I couldn't do that routine for more than a week, and a lot of excuses you can imagine right now. They don't even try. And you know why? Because it's easier to see successful people and believe it is luck than to make a sacrifice and do the work. Most people have a conformist mindset. The minute you become comfortable, you stop growing. I spent 5 years in a job just because I was happy and fairly paid, but that prevented me from growing professionally, so I decided I needed to make a change. Now I am earning twice as much because I decided I couldn't spend the rest of my life with a job just because I liked it. But many people don't think like me. They think that it is very risky to start a business, that it is difficult to change your job to one that pays more because they could fire you, and that if a job allows you to pay your bills and hang out with your friends, you should not change. And this conformity mentality keeps them in the same place for years. But can I tell you a secret? There is a job in exactly what you like to do that pays you more than in the one you are now. And there are also many more jobs on the market in case you get fired. However, you have to be willing to make sacrifices, maybe to study a little more, to go a little further than where you were used to. And that's what keeps people stuck, the feeling of having to do more than they are used to. They waste their precious hours blaming others instead of working on themselves. If you ask anyone with a poor mentality why they are in the situation they are in, they will probably give you excuses like, "I was born in conditions that did not allow me to advance. The government will not let me," or "I have too many problems." This is because it is easier to blame others for your own problems than to admit that you do not want to or make an effort to move forward. Every time I go viral on Twitter, It is because I tell people that they can improve their living conditions, and they care more about making me understand that I am wrong than trying to see if I am right. And that is one of the problems why they remain where they are. They would rather be right and remain miserable than work on themselves and realize that they have the power. Mark Mason wrote in his book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, how a person can improve his life by simply accepting that the problems are because of himself rather than others. Whether we consciously recognize it or not, we are always responsible for our experiences. It's impossible not to be. Choosing to not consciously interpret events in our lives is still an interpretation of the events in our lives. Your responsibility is to interpret the meaning of the event and choose a response, and when you start doing it, your life will improve. If you think you cannot achieve something, you will not achieve it. But when you begin to realize that you have the power to fix the situation you are in, you will find a way to succeed. They prefer not to lose their money instead of winning. Most people prefer not to lose their money than to be able to earn more money. According to research by Kamen and Tversky, people react more strongly to the pain that comes with loss than they do to the pleasure that comes with an equal gain. The problem is that in your obsession with not losing money, you end up winning absolutely nothing. I even know people who are unwilling to use $100 to buy a stock or start a business because they are not willing to lose money, but then they go to a luxury restaurant and spend $175. Loss aversion can prevent us from suffering, but it can also deprive us of opportunities. We could get many opportunities if we stop thinking about what we could lose instead of analyzing the possible gains that a business or investment would bring. 2 years ago, I bought an apartment that was not yet built for $50,000. Many people were making fun of me because I didn't even know if I would like it when a construction company finished it, and then I lost my money. Currently, the apartment is worth $68,000. Many people focused on the fact that I could have lost my money if I did not like how it turned out, but I focused on selling it and earning more money if it was not what I expected. Believe that every business opportunity is a scam. I have never seen a millionaire person laugh at someone for investing and undertaking, but I have seen many broke people laugh at someone who invests or undertakes. Whenever I talk about a new business opportunity or an investment that I'm making, there is always a friend who thinks I'm going to lose my money or that a company is a scam. Months later, I'm making 3 to 4 figures with that business, and that friend is in the same place. Of course, there are many fake businesses in the market, and you should be careful where you put your money, but that shouldn't stop you from learning and trying new investment opportunities. Taking risks does not mean going into business blindly and then expecting great results. Instead, successfully approaching risks requires careful planning and an underlying strategy. Taking calculated risk will help you to build wealth and make you smart with each experience. Not all investment or business opportunities are scams, and thinking that you'll lose your money just because you don't understand something or it's not what you're used to won't get you very far. Think that you are not good enough. A friend told me one day that she needed an extra income to pay her debts. I explained the articles I used to write, finding clients, and encouraged her to do her first story. Months later, she wrote to me that she was never going to do anything because she wasn't good enough. I told her that I wasn't good either, and I learned over time, but she told me that I have a natural talent. I had never written in my life, my first posts didn't have 100 views, and I didn't even know enough English when I started. But people look for any excuse not to strive for things. You are unsuccessful not because you are not good enough, but because you don't even try to be good. Ayodeji Owozika wrote something about limit yourself in his article, How to Become Successful Without Doing Anything at All. I care less than you, therefore I try harder. The more seriously you take yourself, the less likely you are to swing for the fences. You think the people who aim high are the egotistical ones. No, you are. It takes a ton of ego to limit yourself and care so much about your self-image that it keeps you from living the best version of your life. You are the only one who believes that you can't do something. So if you think you are not good enough to do something, you will never achieve it. Final thoughts. Although there are many factors why many people reach wealth while others get nowhere, I think the most important is the mindset. With the right mindset, you are willing to do what it takes to achieve the other steps. Many people will never be rich because they are simply not willing to. They feel that it is easier to complain and assume that they will never be able to do it than to do the homework of researching how to achieve it. You have the choice to do something today to change your condition. What you do with that decision will determine whether you will grow up or stay in the same place.